Just kidding. I'm actually really excited about this video. Videos. Hold on, let me pretend I haven't already opened this. What? Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. AC from AC Toy Design here. This video is about 35 years in the making. Today I got my Dungeons and Dragons Lost Wave, or Vanished Wave, what is it? Lost Wave from NECA, San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. I'm gonna open them up and show you. I don't usually do unboxings. Plenty of other people do it way better than I do, as you can tell, right? So this is what I'm doing. I'm really excited about this stuff, so I'm gonna show you what's inside the box. What's in the box? Oates, that's what's in the box. Idiot. Talking about myself. So yeah, so come with me on this journey, this vintage journey. I love the LJN Dungeons and Dragons line from 1983. These guys were supposed to be made in 1984, they never got made. So I'm really excited to show you all. Before we get there, be sure to join the channel, right? Subscribe and like the video and leave a comment if you guys like Dungeons and Dragons. I know you're out there. I got my shirt on. Every time I wear this shirt, I get some awesome compliments from new, old, tall, short. Everybody loves this shirt. It's really crazy. So I know you're all out there. Let me know your favorite Dungeons and Dragons character from this cartoon, from the cartoon, the 80s cartoon, right? We'll talk about the toys later. What else? I have something here that I'm one of these LJN toys that very few people have, and I guarantee other people reviewing this Lost Wave won't have what I have going on when I get to one of the figures. You'll want to see it. It's awesome. And also, stay tuned to the end. I'm gonna have some glamour shots of all these figures. So, you know, different perspectives. I think they call it A-roll and B-roll. Those professional YouTubers and stuff. So, you know, this is professional. Let's just look at this. It's professional. What? No. So, yeah, let's go. I want to get this box off my head, and let's look at this stuff. Okay? Let's do it. What? It's some Oates, yo. It's the right thing to do. Hey, shout out Wilford Brimley. My man. Okay, so got my box set here of NECA, the Lost Wave. Also over here keeping us company, I got my, let's move this out of the way for a second. I got my PVC vintage uni figure. I think it was 1986. Very rare figure. There's 6 or 7 of these characters out there. Hard to find. That's that. I got my War Duke and Grimsword and Strongheart over here in Zarak, and pretty rare, what you call your Elkhorn. Rare because he's got the Battlematic action going on. It's pretty awesome. And another reason I really like these Battlematic action guys is because they don't have the O-ring inside their body. These are the swivel joint. Really dig that. So there's a little design for you. The other thing that I have here is Keelik, the evil wizard. The reason he's interesting is because there's a newer version in that box, and I'm really interested to compare and contrast the two. This is the vintage one from '83, and the one in the box is like a second design that can do without the cape or with the cape, because this guy, if he does without the cape, it's pretty scary under there. I'll try to show you guys that. So anyway, that's my vintage guys hanging out over on the edge, keeping us company. We're gonna dig into this box. So first off, awesome box. It's nice and chunky. It's safe. It's sealed. I'm gonna break that seal, and it's very basic. Doesn't really have anything going on. It just says Dungeons and Dragons: The Lost Wave. So let's get into that. Let me grab my little do thing here. We're gonna go zippity down. I don't know why I said that. And awesome. Right off the bat, cool box. Got some tissue paper. Always love tissue paper. And another thing with these guys is I saw the card art, and the card art is some of my favorite stuff from the vintage line. This looks like it's in lockstep with that. And man, these cards are super hefty. which is great. So without further ado, let's get these guys out. Let's do one at a time. So first off, Kelik, the Evil Wizard. Check that out. That is some awesome packaging. Good job, NECA. So you got your clamshell. It's nice. But this card is like, I don't know how thick you'd call that. I don't know, 1/8 of an inch almost. Awesome art there. Looks like they use the original art from the card, the vintage card. Definitely same font, same design. Evil Battle Masters. New Battlematic action. Kelik, Evil Sorcerer. Down here you got his bio. I'm not going to read that to you. Some folks might. You can read it yourself. Here, I'll let you. You can pause it and read it. There you go. Kelik. The back. Dungeons and Dragons. Collect them all. Here's the 4 that are in this box. But then they've also got coming down the road Ultimate 7-inch figures. And these are the 4 so far that they've announced. Warduke, Grimsword, Strongheart, Zarek. They were all on display at San Diego Comic-Con this year. I pre-ordered these 2 like almost a year ago probably. Can't wait to get them. I don't know when these are coming out. Eventually they'll all be out. But these were exclusive to San Diego Comic-Con, so that's why I'm really happy to have them. Now, I'm going to open these up. I have a second set on the way from a friend of mine who ordered them for me because I really wanted to open, since this is like like I said, it's a once in a lifetime deal event for me. Very special. So I wanted to have one set I could play with, one set I could display those cards because those cards look amazing. So we're going to open these up. Let's open up Kelik, the Evil Wizard. Evil Wizard. Man, and it is like the glue and the heft of the card are equally as hefty. Let's move this out of the way. Move it out of the way over here. Look at that. Safety shell. Awesome. Weapon. A little frimbly dagger. A little wavy. Some wave actions. You got his staff. And these are both, they look pretty identical to the vintage one. I'll hold them up and compare them for you. The staff. And then the figure just falls out. That's nice. A little freshness pack. Freshness packs are always welcome. This is awesome. So he's like a little man here. You can see the detail on him is similar but different from the vintage. Same height almost. Mohawk on the new one. No mohawk on the old one. Similar cape, same cape. But the difference, underneath this cape, let's look at these weapons too. These are the vintage weapons. Underneath the vintage cape, it's gonna be hard to get him out of there, but he's basically just wearing a diaper, right? So not very exciting, kind of strange. That's the vintage one. Those are his weapons. The new one, however, was made to be displayed without his garb, and I think the best way to get that off would be to put his hands up, slip that over, and that reveals his sort of like, wow, just crazy get up there. Definitely not a diaper. Definitely more than a diaper. Look at that. And he's like really tubby too. So the original one is a little bit, he's pretty skinny. Check that out. Check out those details. This is his Battlematic deal. He's got potions and stuff. He's got a lizard that just lives on his stomach right there. Some snakes that live on his shoulders. It's pretty awesome. So the Battlematic action. What? Give him his weapons. Before I give him his weapons, let's look at them and compare them to... So they're different. So the vintage one has a twisty... We're going to get some focus on that. The vintage one over here has a twisty snake around it. The new one, the new dagger, just as cool. Similar paint. Actually, it's painted, I think. The old one is cast out of plastic. The snake is wrapped around it. Similar but different. I like it. As far as the staffs go, I think the staffs are identical. Yeah, same design. Just again, I think it's painted on the NECA one, and the new one is cast out of plastic. Looks like it almost glows in the dark. Maybe it does. I don't know. Never tried it. But you give him his weapons, and the new guy. You go bam. You go bam. Then you go. Where's the trigger? You gotta get your fingers out of the way. It's weird. Yeah, battle. He's battling. Sorry, I'm not going to be doing a lot of battling anyway. But man, I really dig the design that they gave this guy. Yeah. Very cool stuff. And the colors, man, look at those colors. That's awesome. I'm going to display him probably like that because I'll be displaying my vintage Kellic with his cape. Give him his weapons over there. Look at this guy. I'll put him right there. And I'll get you at the end of the video. We'll do some glamour shots, so stay tuned for that. Let's get into the next figure. Let's move these. I like to tidy these up. Tidied. Next. All right. So next up, and this is going to be sort of like an exclusive thing that you won't see in anybody else's review of these figures, because next up is Valkyr, right? Viking. Now, the reason this guy is special is because for years now, I've had this resin prototype of him that I got from a friend a few years ago. It's based on this cast, and this figure and this resin cast, they're based on the original plans for this figure that got canceled, never released. So this is a prototype, resin prototype, mock-up, exact to what this figure is going to be. So he's put together with metal rods and everything else. He's got his weapons, just like he comes with in here. So this was a prototype I got a few years ago from a friend of the figure I'm about to show you that was never released. So I've had this for a while, and when I got this, I never ever thought that there would be an official release. And in a lot of ways, this is just this wave is just a continuation of the original LJN line. So I don't look at these as sort of like in the re-release category or in the new toy category. They're new toys, but it's just carrying on that wave. I love it. So let's open them up. We'll look at them in comparison to the prototype. We got our clamshell, got our shield, sword, my ox, and figure. Oh, it's got little do things. Might have to cut this out of the video. All right, cut the do things. Wiggle. Perfect. All right, look at that guy. So, I can tell right off the bat that he's based exactly on the same sculpt as my prototype. Clear up, there we go. Awesome. The back. You got your battlematic action. And one thing NECA's doing with this battlematic stuff is they're doing both arms get to wiggle, whereas the vintage one's only one arm wiggled. Look at that. Awesome, awesome. Very cool. I don't think his head moves. I'm not going to try to move it. Some really cool sculpt. Look at that axe down there on his boot. It's pretty dope. As far as his weapons and how he holds them, at least on the prototype, I like to display the sword in the sheath. The axe, you can put... Since these are plastic and not resin, my prototype is resin, so I don't force the weapons into his hand. The plastic you can take some more chances with. There he is with his stuff. Man, that's dope. Again, I'll have like some glamour shots at the end of the video, so you guys can see him better. That is an awesome figure. So let's just put his weapons for a second down, like we did with Kellic, and let's just look at the comparison between the two figures. Give me the shield. Let go of the shield. It's okay. It's okay. No one panic. Like I said, he's held together with metal rods. The arms come off. The legs come off. Exact. The only thing that looks different is the height a little bit, but the sculpt looks the same. Very cool to have this guy right next to his prototype. I do like the height on the prototype a little bit more than the height on the... I mean, it doesn't take away from the figure. The figure looks great, feels great, is great. The height would have been nice, but it's really awesome. Really cool to see. Of course, you got the Battlematic switch in there that isn't on the prototype. Awesome stuff. Let's put that over here. As a toy maker and toy designer, looking at the sculpt of this guy, the detail around his neck and the fur, it's really interesting. They even they got the joints exact to what they are, what LJN had. When you look at like War Duke here, you can see that rivet through the shoulder. Same thing here. So they really did their homework. I like that. Put him over there with his weapons. Who's up next? This is great because Skyla. This is only, I believe there's only Mercion and Deeth, the Knight. I think are the only two female figures in the entire wave, entire line from LJN. So this makes the third, Skyla. And you know, the world needs more female action figures. So this is really awesome that they decided to do her. Excellent card, again. And also, again, I have another set of these coming for display. Otherwise, I would feel really bad about busting these open. But I mean, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Remove that. She doesn't have any do things holding her in. You all be careful with these weapons, but they do seem pretty durable. I know NECA usually uses kind of fragile plastic, but these seem pretty nice. The packaging is amazing. Look at that, you get the double whammy clamshell. All this stuff. What is this stuff? You get a bird. What is it? So you get a bird up in here. You get a dagger. You get a sword. And then this is like almost like a stake, or like for a vampire, or like some kind of mini dagger. Very cool array of weapons for a evil sorceress wizard. And then her staff. Let's look at her staff. It's got red on the tip, just the tip though. What? Let's put that away. Let's see if we can get her out carefully. Right? She does have do things. I'll have to cut this out too. Get these do things cut without cutting myself. Snippety doodah. What? Two little snippities. Come on. There we go. Some more freshness down in there. Always like the freshness. Get rid of this. Get out of here. That was in there a little bit tight, let me just say, NECA. and I left an indentation on her belt, which is pretty soft plastic. You could heat that up if yours has that too. The twisty ties will do things. Were really so tight around her waist that it left a very visible indentation on her belt. If you heat it up with a heat gun very carefully, or boil some water and drop it in there very carefully, that should come out if yours is like that as well. So you got her belt, goes all the way around. Awesome head sculpt with that skull headdress. Very cool. Again, I'll have glamour shots at the end of the video. Articulation. Let's feel this. Let's make sure. Oh, there we go. So you pull her shoulder dress down a little bit. You can see those rivets in the shoulder. So she has should have a full, she's not Battlematic action, but she should have a full, I don't want to force that. Again, NECA plastic. I want these not having any issues moving her arm up and down. But as far as the rotator cuff, I'm gonna just leave that for now. Her legs are on a swivel, so they only go up and down like a 5 POA action figure, and I'm fine with that. I love 5 POA. I really like her belt design. More skull action in there. All right. She looks great. She's an exciting figure. Let's see how much of this stuff she can actually hold. I definitely want her to have her staff. That shoulder joint is really tight. And I definitely want her to have her bird. Looks like her bird hooks onto her wrist. So that's cool. Yeah, I'm not even going to force that shoulder joint to rotate it up. Maybe I'll heat up the figure, take the clothes off, heat up the figure, loosen up those joints a bit. Why don't you also hold... Take the bird off for a second. Put a bird on it. Give her that weird dagger. Give her a bird. She's got a bird on her wrist. Very cool figure. I really dig her. Got to work on those joints, but let's see if she can stand up. Boom! She stands. She still has these other daggers. Maybe you can put them with other figures. Man, I really like her. I love her headdress. Her head is great. We'll take a closer look at that. Last figure. Whew, this one's a doozy. Look at that. Look at that guy. Bananas. Bananas. Pulverize. Like pulverize, like crush. Pulverize. This guy's the Orc High Chief. So we came, the LJN Vintage line had a Orc King, I believe. He's the green guy. He was also released as a shield shooter, which this guy, I believe, is also a shield shooter. So it plugs into their hand, there's a trigger, shoots out. Love it. This guy's big. All right, let's check this guy out. Oh man, he's like it's like a double clam, triple clam. So you got your double deal right here. As far as his weapons, look at that guy. That's a sword and a half. Wow. Here comes his, let's do his axe. It's a big bloody axe. He's got spiders, that's his motif, I guess. It's a big axe. So I can tell this is some really brittle ABS plastic. PVC plastic is the flexible stuff that gives. This will not give, so, and I can tell it's very fragile. So be careful with that, especially because this guy's a shield shooter, so parts of him are able to fly across the room. You don't want to break it. Get rid of that. So here's his shield, and it looks like it's like a little setup. There's 3 parts. You take this. I'm guessing you take this rod here, right? You take this spider here. You plug what looks like, I'm going to say this end. And You got a tapered end, plugs into the back of the spider. You got the shield itself, which has little grooves in the handle that'll clip onto this guy's hand. This will plug in like so. The circle fits perfectly, and it'll lock in. Let's check this guy out. He's got little do things. I have to edit this out. One do thing. All right. Get out of there. What are you doing? Does his helmet come off? I don't think so. I'm not going to try. Does his head turn? I don't think so. I'm not going to try. It's okay. Yeah. Some sticky shoulders. Careful. Push in. Raise up. We'll heat it up. Heat up your joints. Looks like they need to be heated. But the Battlematic action works. It's pretty awesome. It's a beautiful thing. Man, this guy is hefty. He's got that soft PVC belt, which can come off. I'm not going to unhook it right yet, but it just unpops very easily. Look at that guy. Look at that face. It's like Sloth from Goonies. Baby Woo? Baby Woo? Detail. I love the detail. He's got these like Wookiee scalp things over here. Lots of spiders. Man, this guy, you don't want to mess with this guy. His joints are very tight. I'm not going to mess. He can stand before that. Okay. I will definitely let some other reviewer force his joints or turn his head or take his helmet off. Go for it. I'm fine with how he is like this. So the shield shooting action. Oh, it's big. Goes all the way through his arm. Okay, so there's a hole in his fist. The other end is in the back of his shoulder here. Probably can't see it, but there's a hole right there. So this thing like goes all the way in and comes out the back. And there's a spring, I can feel it. So what you want to do first is notch the shield onto his hand. Like I said, there's two little clips. And be very careful, again, this NECA plastic. Oosh, you don't want to mess with it. There is an easier way to do it. You just gotta clip it over. Very careful. You can work it on. Alright, so the shield's on. Spider. Turn that a little bit. A little bit of maneuvering. So as far as I can tell, it does not clip in to shoot out, which makes sense because that's why they had this bar come all the way through his arm, so you can pull it back. It's very tight. So you pull this back, spring loaded, let it go, and it shoots out. That's the theory behind it. See if we can get it to do it. Whoa! Oates, sorry man. What? Some Oates. So that's what shield shooters do. Look at that. It's pretty crazy. I'm gonna turn his shield like that. I'm gonna grab some of his weapons. Let's see. Sword fits fine. Look at that, stabbing like he's in the jail yard, you know? Stab, 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 stab. What? I'll go to jail. He got his axe. Loose fit. Axe. Let me ask you something. There you go. So this guy works. What do I want him to have? I'm going to figure out a way to display him. But for now, it's going like that. Put a spider there. This is kind of cool too, because you could like take the rod out of here and he's got like a little spider pal hanging out. Awesome. Let's take a closer look. tuning in. This was a blast. I hope that you got a good look, and it was a good time, right? Good time all around with these guys. I'm really happy to have this modern figures. I'm not toys, I guess. It really takes a lot to hit home with me. These guys are great. If I had any gripes, it would be to like loosen up on the joint juice that keeps them all stiff when you first open them up out of the package. But be careful when you do. Heat them up a little bit maybe and ease those joints out. But I did that on these guys, and as you can see, it works. It's good. Everybody's good and happy. Look at that. She's not battle-matic. She's the only one who's not. Look at this. Fighting. This is how I used to play when I was a kid. Fighting. Ooh. So thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out my Patreon at patreon.com/actoydesign, where you will find my Patreon exclusive podcast. You like toys, I like toys, you like toys. We can all sort of Ricky Gervais and come together like that. Creepy. You'll also find a bunch of behind the scenes, tutorials, how-tos, stuff I use, Q&As. That's just the place for everything. Patreon.com/actoydesign. Social media, you can find me on Instagram, actoydesign. You can find me on Twitter, actoydesign. And I think that's it. This was fun. This was a blast. Definitely, 35 some odd years coming. So, in the making. This guy. I'm just going to sit here. Just going to do this. Oh, snap. What? Get some notes. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. I will see you in the next video. I got a big one coming up. That'll be my first full from kit bash through sculpt, painting, everything coming up. Big video on the horizon. I can see it on the horizon. Thanks for checking me out today. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the support. Subscribe, like, comment, join the Patreon. I'll see you somewhere in the future. Thanks for being here. Me, Ego. We'll see you later. Oh, thumbs up. Let's do that. Pow. Oh, it's an indentation from the shield shooter. Look at that. I'm permanently marked by the Dungeons and Dragons. The sign of Vecna on my phone. It's a good one. Bang. Zap. See you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Sit, Muji, sit. Good dog. What?